What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. I have an awesome video for y'all today because Tom DeLonge recently did an interview about Blink 182, but in it, he dropped some bombshells about some stuff he's been involved with and some new information he just found out a couple months ago. This is according to him. So let's dive into this and find out a little bit more. Remember, Tom DeLonge started To the Stars Academy and was heavily involved in UFO research. In fact, getting UFO Researcher of the Year in 2017.
We are happy to award Tom DeLonge the 2017 Open Minds TV UFO Researcher of the Year Award.
Hello, I'm Tom DeLonge, and I want to say thank you for acknowledging some of the hard work I've been putting into some subject matter that concerns us all and that you're passionate about just like I.
But again, in this interview, he says some things I never heard before.
We also launched To the Stars around that time. You're doing your own stuff there.
Yep.
The Academy of the Arts, the Sciences, fucking movies, books, TV shows.
Yep.
Everything, man. Like, we fucking dived into it. We got UFO Researcher of the Year, 2017. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, well,
you
know,
really dived into all that stuff.
I did because I felt like I literally, that was the one time in my life where I felt like I was doing something for humanity. You know, some people go out and they join like an activist group, or they go out and they clean up water, or they go and feed, you know, people that are in poverty. Like, this is my version of what I thought I could do, because I really felt like to get this conversation started, which we did, was going to have a profound effect on the world and where we end up as a species. And it's not only about clean energy, but it's also about, you know, the divide within different religious belief systems. And it's also about just like transparency in government, and just uniting the world to figure out that, hey, you might have dark skin and you have light skin, but we're all being duped and played here, potentially on purpose, to be apart from each other. And once you know the facts, it's going to fill in the models that we've all been wondering, like, what's the theory of everything? Of like, why are we here and who are we and how do we go forward? That only comes with this subject.
It's beautiful, man. You don't even think about that when we think about like aliens, just all that stuff.
Yeah, no, it because what you learn is why they're here and how they're here, and what they're doing has to do with us as human beings and our consciousness. Yeah. They're not here to get gold. They're not here to take water. They're not here to
take our souls, take our blood.
Well, that's a different conversation, but that gets into some dark shit.
But that new one that I text you about was crazy. They're saying like they come from the sky and they go right into the ocean. They just go boop down to the ocean. There's all the algae and all that stuff.
There's bases in the ocean and shit.
Dude, that's fucking
And a lot of them are coming through time. That's what's crazy.
I never even thought about that until I saw the documentary. It was really interesting, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Some have been here. Some are coming through time. Some are something else.
Now we're about to get to the part that you're waiting for, but I thought I would just interrupt here for a second just to talk about, you know, this kind of conversation is really just the kind of conversations I have with my friends and, you know, about this stuff, or even people in the community, you know, in our Vetted Discord or whatever, in open mics, you know, these kind of just casual conversations about this. But, you know, you forget that Tom DeLonge has a lot of connections, and he did start To the Stars Academy to get heavily involved with this, right? And it seems that his journey in this space has given him access to information, right? A lot of information, more than the general person would ever get. Now, the question then becomes, how valid is that information? And as you're about to hear, Tom DeLonge clearly has had his own interesting journey in this topic.
I just saw somebody filming something like at the Philadelphia airport, like at 5 a.m. There was something like by the runway and stuff, and just...
Dude, it's everywhere. They're everywhere. I know. I've had meetings with other intelligence groups from different countries, with the Vatican, with the UN, and like... dude, like I got in deep, you know.
Yeah, I remember that.
I got in with the key holders, and like I was, for a period of time, I was able to ask any question I wanted to, and
but then when you ask too much, maybe
you have to be careful what you ask, you know, and you have to understand where your limits are. You know, there's some shit with what I was doing that went all the way up to the White House that I didn't know. I didn't know about
it.
Did
I remember this shit? Yeah, hearing about it.
I didn't know about it till literally just like a couple months ago.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it would be.
So you're on the radar for sure,
big time, and I didn't know it. And now I know why I got so much
But
help.
as a threat,
And there it is. And we're not done yet. So stay with me because there's still more to that clip. But there it is. So he just found out a couple months ago that it went all the way to the White House. And now he knows why people were helping him. I mean, he got kind of interrupted there by the host. But that's what he said, right? Now he knows why people were helping him. And he just found that out a couple months ago, went up to the White House. This is interesting. What is he talking about exactly? I actually would love to know, because just how influential Tom DeLonge has been in the UFO community, whether you like him or you don't, right? I'm personally a huge fan of Blink 182, and I have zero problems with what Tom DeLonge tried to do with To the Stars, and just trying to do something. He's trying to help humanity, like he put earlier in the thing, right? Like, he sees it as something good and beneficial that he was doing, and can you blame a guy for that, right? Now, if he's then used or this or that, I'm sure he thought about that, right, to some extent. But I would be interested to know why exactly he thinks he was being helped.
as somebody's looking into this, I've been trying to.
At first,
first,
groups knew that some of them thought this was their best chance at getting the stuff out, was me creating waves. The second group didn't know about that and thought I was Ed Snowden being leaked classified information. The third iteration came when everyone realized that's not what I was doing. Let's all figure this out together.
Yeah.
And then now you have what's going on.
Who are these groups, y'all? First group, second group, third group. This is interesting, right? So again, it's been a journey for Tom DeLonge, but I would love for him to expand on what exactly he means by that, and who are the people in these groups, right?
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So it was scary for a while. Did you get paranoid about stuff too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Being watched or stuff like that? Or
Oh, yeah.
drones by your house?
Yeah, I had a couple events happen. I had a couple paranormal events happen. I was warned by people at a 3-letter agency that was just like, it's going to start happening to you. It tends to happen once you get involved with it at this level, and it did. It's crazy.
That's also interesting, right? He's saying he's had some paranormal events happen to him because he got heavily involved with this, and he was told from people in 3-letter agencies that this might happen to him. I have a feeling he's talking about Jim Semivan or someone similar personally, but I don't know exactly, right? And I think he's referring to what's called in the community the hitchhiker effect, right? Where the phenomena hitchhikes onto you, right? Once you either confront the phenomena or get involved in the phenomena or start researching it. Now, I will admit, I've personally never had anything, and I look into this every day, all the time, and I have for a long time. So, and I've never had anything hitchhike onto me. So either there's not enough room on this ride for the hitchhikers, or they don't like me, or that doesn't happen, or something else, I guess, entirely, right? It picks and chooses. I don't know, right? But that is interesting that he has had some paranormal events. I wonder exactly what those are.
One thing about the thing I understand is, like, if it is true and there is alien life form, which I do believe in now, it's like, I don't know why. Are they trying to cover things up so it doesn't scare the humans? It doesn't scare people? Like,
I think
if it's not a threat, why can't we know about it? It's just weird.
I think it is a threat, and I think it's like we're trying not to initiate a conflict with something we poorly understand.
Yeah.
Nor initiate a conflict with adversaries that we don't fully trust.
Okay.
So you have countries like China and Russia that have crash retrieval programs that are back engineering weapon systems. And we don't want to bring it all out so everyone starts to know what we have.
Okay.
Because this is like the reason why we hide our weapons development, because we don't want Russia to know what our limits are technologically to defend ourselves. So we hide that, we classify that stuff. Well, what happens when 3 countries are building shit that's so exotic, so advanced, world-busting weapon systems based off this shit that we covered? You don't talk about it because you don't fully trust each other. But what's worse than that, you don't fully understand where you got it from and what they would do if you bring it all out.
Can't say I disagree with some of those points Tom is making, right? And that is the struggle. That is the double-edged sword, right? We want transparency. We want the truth, but revealing that could put us in danger, right? What do we do? That's the dilemma, y'all, right? So what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. I'll put links in the description. I do have a special little surprise for you if you've hung out this long in the video. I made an AI song kind of in the vein of Blink 182 about aliens and UFOs, and I'm going to let it take us out into the sunset. So, all right, vetters, we'll see you in the next video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
There's a flash in the sky and it's not the force. Something's weird on the edge of the earth. I grabbed my flashlight, but it flickered out. Now there's green little guys creeping all about. There's an alien on my porch tonight with his big black eyes and a ship so bright. Got a beer in his hand and he's asking for more. I think the UFO's double parked at my door. There's an alien on my porch tonight with his big black eyes and a ship so bright. Got a beard in his hand and he's asking for more. I think the UFO's double parked at my door. He said, take me to your radio waves. I said, man, this ain't NASA, go behave. Then he laughed and spilled his drink real slow. How'd I end up with E.T. at my bungalow? There's an alien on my porch tonight. He's dancing weird like he's chasing stars. Said he crash landed here, but he's vibing just fine. His first contact's a mix of vodka and lime. His spaceship smoking like an old RV. Told him AAA doesn't tow for free. He grinned real wide and faced through the door. Left my dog howling and peeing on the floor. There's an alien on my porch tonight, singing bad karaoke like a cosmic delight. I snap a selfie, but the lenses are blurred. Does anyone else think this is completely absurd? There's an alien on my porch tonight.